All right, and we are getting here into Module 4 now, into service automation, where we get to automate a lot of our services. Get into the knowledge management, our knowledge base, that's where we're going to start, into our knowledge articles, the knowledge base architecture. So Module 4.1 is the first one. Knowledge management as a whole, the knowledge base architecture, different workflows that we can have for our different knowledge bases. Feedback, where we're getting feedback into our knowledge management system from people using these articles. So what is knowledge management? Well, great many different articles grouped into different categories and subcategories within the knowledge base or knowledge bases. We can't have more than one knowledge base here on our platform. And just the whole process. Knowledge admin. So one of those specialized admin roles we were talking about before when we were talking about roles. Very common one here, knowledge admin. Knowledge base can be quite a lot to keep up. And our sysadmins have a lot going on with ACLs and other things.
So essentially it's where I as an employee would go to find out information, right? Like maybe our holiday schedule or even maybe 401k information or...
any type of article that we want to put on there.
Anything that's made available. Okay, so it's just a way for, I guess, an organization to distribute information.
Centralized location for it.
Sounds good.
So our architecture here, category hierarchy over here on the left, right? Cloud Dimensions, that's who we work for. Within that Cloud Dimension knowledge management system, we have 3 different knowledge bases: IT, HR, knowledge. All right, so if you're in the IT department, you get access to IT. If you're in HR, you get access to HR. Knowledge is maybe just generic for everyone. Everyone gets access into knowledge. But then within those knowledge bases, we have categories, subcategories, as far out as you may want to go. That's our knowledge hierarchy over there. And then on our right, just some examples of what it can look like. So we have IT, and then we have application as a category with the Microsoft and VPN as subcategories, and then the articles within those subcategories. Over on the right, HR, right, we have our recruitment, frequently asked questions, and then those questions as articles, services, right? So just what it can look like there for our knowledge base examples.
So if I'm a smaller organization, could I just have one knowledge?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I don't have to separate these out. Okay, good.
Can definitely just have the one if you like to. And then as you grow, you can build another one, move articles around in the structure.
Yeah, I really like the idea of being able to distribute responsibilities so it's not all one person having to do everything.
Definitely. The different knowledge bases can have different workflows. There's 2 main types: approval for publish and retirement, and instant for publish and retirement. What we're talking about there is our fulfillers can go ahead and draft articles, and then they submit them for publication. Articles have to be in a published state before we can use them in the knowledge base. So with instant, as soon as our fulfillers draft the article and submit it for publication, instantly published.
It's just published as soon as, okay. Mm-hmm.
With approval, we just have an extra step where we go through an approval process, whoever the manager is for that knowledge base.
And then she or he would be responsible for reviewing it and determine whether or not it's...
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
And these workflows are set on the knowledge base level. So IT and HR...
they might have different
workflows.
That's nice. Right, because they might have different processes as far as approvals. That makes sense, okay. Are we going to learn about creating workflows in here?
Workflows we'll get to in 2 sections.
Oh, okay, so it has its own section.
It's its own section, 4.3. So feedback. Feedback is a great thing, right? We need feedback to make sure that our articles stay up to date. So we can go ahead and, as our users are using an article, they can flag an article and say, hey, this was great for IE 10. I have IE Internet Explorer 12 now. Does this work? So they can flag it, enter in their little question or comment, and then our knowledge admin, knowledge managers as well, have access. So down on the bottom right, we see our shorthand for our application navigator. Knowledge, articles, all flagged.
So essentially helping you to make, or whoever the knowledge administrator is, to make it better.
Exactly.
Oh, that's nice. Do you have to do that though?
Do we have to flag? No.
Yeah, no, you don't have to. I see the little stars on there too. That's kind of like
We have feedback with the 5 stars. We have a thumbs up and thumbs down too, if it was useful or not.
very handy.
So yeah, we can get to all the feedback, assuming we have the right roles, through the knowledge application.
So really allowing your user base to help you as the administrator make it a better thing.
Definitely.
That's great. That's great.
And speaking of our user base, our user criteria. So this is on our knowledge base level again, right? Not down to the individual article. On our knowledge base, we have 2 different sections, user criteria for can read or can contribute. So contribute, we're drafting articles.
Okay, like writing them. And, Okay.
Can read, who has access to read them. And we see our 6 different categories here. Users, groups, roles. Those ones we've talked about
Pretty
before.
traditional, yeah.
But we also have companies, locations, and departments. So with the example that we were using of IT and HR, here's our example. You have to be in the department of HR.
Oh, okay. So I have to be I have to meet both of those, right?
Right. You see the little check mark down there for match
I see
all.
match all. Now, if that wasn't check, it would be one or the other. Okay. What's the advanced one to do?
Scripting.
Is advanced always
Yes.
script? Okay. That's cool. Okay,
Advanced, you get to write some of your own script.
so I could make it. I could really
Yes,
limit
absolutely.
who could read or who could create. Okay.
And with the match all, you have to match every single piece of information you put in there.
That seems like a lot of flexibility. That's nice.
Much.
Yeah, that's
A
great.
lot.
Cool.
Let's take a look at a knowledge base, shall we?
Absolutely.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and just type in knowledge, or at least start typing it in. We get to knowledge, our homepage, our articles, create new, published, unpublished. So these are just filtered lists of all of our articles.
Okay. There's the flagged ones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
My flagged versus all flagged. If
Okay.
I'm an author,
Oh, okay.
if I've drafted, if I've created one, I could find them here underneath my flagged.
Okay.
Let's get down into the administration of the knowledge bases, though. We also have the ratings down here underneath administration.
Sure.
We're going to take a look.
I noticed, Micah, that there are a lot of modules to go through. You're not going to go through every one in this training, are you?
No, we're not. This is a 3-day course that we're doing self-paced here to go through every single different module. We'd be a lot older by the time we finished.
I would imagine this course would be a few weeks
Yes.
long. So I'll just have to, outside of class, I'll have to review a lot of these other modules and see what they do.
And use some of those other resources we've talked about, like out to
Docs. You said, yeah, Docs is a great resource. And I think each one has a getting started, too, that links you out to Docs for the most part.
Reporting definitely did.
Yeah, sure.
So we're going to go ahead and take a look at administration, our knowledge bases.
Okay.
So the screenshots we had 3. Here we're looking at 4 different knowledge bases, right? HR, IT, and that forward-facing knowledge. Who the owner of it is. So we're going to take a look at IT right here. So category editing, this check mark, if people that are drafting the articles, if they can go ahead and create new subcategories as they're drafting the article. Enable social QA and answers. This is powerful to help build content into without having our fulfillers and knowledge admins create articles. What we're doing is we're allowing other users to post questions and then other users to go ahead and answer them.
Kind of like a community within
Very
your
like the
instance.
community.
Yeah, okay.
Open forum for questions
Sure.
and answers. So then we see all right, our managers. We don't have any managers listed. We see our 2 workflows. We're using approval here, but this is where we can set that. Mm-hmm. We have those approval and instance for publish and retire in here. If you want to modify those for yourself, absolutely.
We could always I could always change the workflow.
Change the workflow.
I see that's just a reference field, so it references the other.
Back out to the workflow.
Oh, okay, the other workflows that are available. Cool.
And yeah, we'll get into workflows a little bit more. Down here, all of our articles listed.
Within this knowledge base.
Within this knowledge base, within
sure.
IT.
Okay.
Questions, the social QA thing.
Got it.
Can read and can contribute.
There's
Who has
those 2.
access?
That's that 2 security things you were saying about. Okay.
So we have 2 different ones set up in here for can read. All Acme North American, all Acme Corporation employees.
Okay.
We can create new, we can edit. I'm going to go ahead and pop one of these up to look at it.
Sure.
So here we have all Acme North American employees. Cool. If you have that company listed associated with your user account,
record, okay,
you have access to this knowledge base.
Be able to read
This is
article.
correct. This is can read.
Got it.
Let's jump back here. So that's company Acme North America. Over here we'd have company all Acme Corp.
Okay. So it's including all. Oh, I get it. Okay. So much broader.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
But what was the knowledge base that we were in? We went into IT, right?
Correct.
Knowledge base IT. Well, you know what? I'm going to edit this. So not just all corporation. I'm going to go ahead and say they have to be in the IT department. I need the match all to enforce it.
Okay.
With these, so it's not an or, it's an and. Lock it back down. Match all. I'm going to right click and save. So now we've updated the user criteria for can read. So if you're in one of these companies listed and in the IT department, you get access.
That makes sense. Yeah, it's great.
We still have the other criteria down here for can read, and it didn't have the IT department associated with it. So if you're in North America employee, even if you're not in IT,
in IT you can read it.
You can read it. Can contribute works exactly the same way.
Okay.
So can contribute is probably North American IT with a match all, right?
Sure.
Featured content, knowledge categories. This is our hierarchy structure over here for our knowledge categories. All right, so we have IT, news, subcategories if we have any subcategories listed.
Okay.
Featured content. This is pretty cool. On our homepage for this knowledge base, we can go ahead and say we want knowledge article KB001 and 002 featured. So they're going to pop up and show there every time people access this knowledge base.
Oh,
so
okay.
For IT, we are upgrading application X to application 15. You know, whatever our new version is rolling out. Get that featured right there so they don't have to search for it. It's just, hey, that
It'll
applies
be right
to
there
me.
as soon as they go, oh, okay, that's
Exactly.
nice. And so you can do as many as you want, it looks like?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
So this is configuring a knowledge base. Now we're going to go ahead and view it.
Okay.
Our related link to go ahead and view it. So now this is more consuming than configuring. This is using the knowledge base.
So this would be kind of like an end user
Yes.
would see. Okay.
2 featured articles. Get into Microsoft IE. So our category structure here.
Yep.
Articles. If we're looking just at articles, questions,
That's
social
the Q,
QA.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do we have tags here as well?
Like same as before?
Remember
like the
tagged
hashtags?
articles?
Okay,
Yep.
sure.
So
Okay.
this one's tagged with Android and development.
Are they the same tags as the ones we learned about before?
If those were set to like public view, because remember we could set those tags to my private. So
right.
If they're,
so
if
it's like
they're-
a global. So
right,
everyone
if they're a
can see
global
it.
tag.
That makes sense. Sure.
But if I'm saving them for me, then no,
Then
it would show them
wouldn't.
here.
That makes sense.
Well, we can go ahead and jump back and forth between our different knowledge bases here. Again, assuming I have access. If I didn't have a can read into one of these, it wouldn't list here.
You wouldn't see it. Okay.
Let's go back to our homepage. So those different knowledge bases that we have access to are featured content, are those 2 articles. Then over here, dynamic, most useful, most viewed. Most useful, based off of the thumbs up, thumbs down. Most viewed, just a straight count.
And that just dynamically
Exactly.
updates. Oh, that's kind of handy. If I didn't want that, I could. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
I
we
could
could
remove it. Okay.
We could remove those.
Okay.
Although service desk background, service desk manager was for a while, I would be looking here.
Sure.
If I have an article that's always most viewed, why is it most viewed? Kick off a process into
Absolutely.
what's the underlying issue.
Absolutely.
All right, so we start at the top. We look at configuring a knowledge base. We looked at using a knowledge base. I'm going to go ahead and pop up a knowledge article form. So we're just going to go ahead and go to articles and published. So we have to be in a published state before we can view it in this consuming view.
Okay.
Or if the related search on our incident has to be in a published state before it'll show there.
Okay.
So we see our workflow, it's in a published state. We can go ahead and expand these stages. we'll talk about these stages a little more with workflow.
Okay.
Let's just go ahead and take a look at this article off the top. See this field? Valid to.
Mm-hmm.
So we give our knowledge articles an expiration date when we're creating them.
Okay.
Knowledge articles aren't going to be good forever. If they're referencing Windows 7,
sure,
might be a little
it becomes
outdated
dated after a while.
right?
Sure, absolutely.
So that gives the author feedback saying, hey, your article's going to expire soon. Also gives knowledge manager, knowledge admin. We can go ahead and maybe we want to build a report. Valid to date is in the next week, month.
And then what happens on 1/2/2020?
It acts as if it's not published.
Okay.
So it won't be searchable anymore.
Okay.
But because we want our authors to be able to get in and update it, it's not going to be unpublished.
Okay, so it doesn't delete it or anything?
No, it does not delete it.
Okay, good.
But our authors can get back in. Authors, managers, admins, moving up the stack.
Okay.
And then what it looks like. So yeah, here's our lab files.
And that looks just like a rich text editor, right?
It's exactly what it is.
Okay, cool.
Affected products. If we want to go ahead and bring in affected products, there's some additional things we don't have to use down here. Feedback. If there were any feedback for the article, we could see it here.
So again, if I said, "Oh, you're missing this," or it needs,
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Mike, a great article for Windows 7. You gonna update it soon?
A little dated, sure.
And then approvals. If we're using that approval process, this is where we would find.
We would
those
see
as well.
it. Okay, got it.
Yeah, that's the article form. You can have attachments with it. I mean, similar with our knowledge title bar, right? We have activity stream, attachments. We can personalize our view.
And there's categories, so we could add the categories
Yes.
here if we wanted to. Okay,
And add our categories here.
got it.
So we're in knowledge, and then we didn't have any categories listed in knowledge, but we'd be able to pick them here. So let's go back and find one that's in IT. So IT, Android,
It's an Android. Okay, I got it.
and our knowledge picker, where we can continue to add subcategories out
As many as we want.
as many as are practical.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Oh, that's neat. That's a little bit different looking, that category, than it is like on Incident, which is it's
Yes.
nice. Yeah, because it allows you to go at as many levels as you want.
Well, on Incident, we're not adding categories there either.
Right,
And so
yeah.
here we have the little plus sign where we can add new categories
Got
and
it,
subcategories. Any questions?
No, I'm looking forward to trying the lab.
All right.
Play with it myself.
So we're going to play with the architecture a little bit. We're going to specify what workflow we want. The knowledge security, where we're looking at can read and can contribute. So in the lab, what we're going to do, we're going to create a knowledge base article importing from a Word document. So you have these articles already existing somewhere, you can import them.
Okay, that's nice. You don't have to create it from scratch.
Don't have to type it all out.
Great.
And we're going to play with some user criteria a little bit. And with that, have fun with the lab.
Cool, thanks. Well, that was pretty straightforward. I really liked how you can import from a Word document.
Yes.
And it does a really good job of formatting, which I was kind of surprised about.
From a Word document.
Yeah, from a Word document. Yeah, absolutely.
I really like the valid to date. I've worked with knowledge management systems before.
Where they get out of date, and yeah, no, that's great. And the whole approval process, all the automation built in there. I can imagine, though, where you've probably got to do quite a bit of thinking about the automation in advance when you're building out these workflows.
Yes.
But once you get it in place, I can see how...
Once the workflow is built and done. Remember, we have an interface from an Apple Watch.
Oh, yeah.
People could approve the knowledge article from their watch.
That's awesome. That's great. Very cool. All right, well, thank you.